As the story spread across fan pages and discussion threads, one question kept popping up. What exactly did Matt find out about Caryn? Now, let's be clear, there's no evidence of a legal crime. What fans are calling a crime is something far more personal, something that strikes at the emotional core of any long-term relationship: broken trust. The rumor began when viewers noticed Matt acting noticeably distant in several scenes. He seemed reflective, withdrawn, almost like he was carrying a weight he didn't want anyone to see. At the same time, Caryn appeared tense, overly cautious in her interactions, and unusually quiet during moments she would normally take the lead. Fans started speculating that Matt stumbled across something unexpected. Maybe a message. Maybe a secret plan. Maybe a conversation that revealed Caryn wasn't being completely honest. Whether it was about the farm, his kids, or their future together. The theory circulating is that Matt felt blindsided. And for a man who prides himself on staying 3 steps ahead, that kind of surprise cuts deep. This wasn't about finances. This wasn't about public drama. This felt personal. Slow zoom on Matt walking the property. Cut to Caryn looking uneasy. Fan comment bubbles appearing on screen. If the rumors are true, the emotional fallout didn't take long to show. Matt has always talked about valuing loyalty, whether from his family, his team, or the people closest to him. And when he feels that loyalty is shaken, he retreats. That's exactly what fans think happened here. For weeks, he appeared more absorbed in farm projects than usual, burying himself in blueprints and construction plans. To some viewers, it looked like he was trying to regain control of something after losing control somewhere else. Meanwhile, Caryn seemed to be walking on eggshells, supportive but careful, present but guarded, almost like she could feel Matt pulling away. The dynamic between them shifted on screen. Fewer shared smiles. More awkward pauses. Shorter conversations. A sense of emotional distance. Fans pointed to small, subtle moments, tiny expressions, unfinished sentences, moments where one reached out and the other pulled back. These were the clues that made viewers feel like something had changed behind the scenes. The crime of the heart theory grew stronger, and speculation reached a peak when fans noticed Matt spending more time alone on the farm, reflecting on the past rather than talking about the future. The LPBW fanbase has never been more split. One side believes Matt had every right to feel betrayed. To them, the situation, whatever it was, hit a deeply emotional nerve. They argue that Matt has carried the weight of the farm, the family legacy, and years of public pressure. A breach of trust from the person closest to him, that would be devastating. But the other side thinks the entire scenario is being exaggerated. They say the crime of the heart narrative comes from viewers reading too much into facial expressions, editing choices, and isolated moments taken out of context. Some argue that Matt and Caryn have always had a complicated dynamic, especially with the tension involving the Roloff kids and the future of the farm, and that fans simply interpreted normal stress as emotional betrayal. Still, the debate won't die down. Every new episode adds fuel. Every social media post gets dissected. Every interview raises new questions. At its core, this storyline reveals how emotionally invested viewers still are in the relationships on Roloff Farms, and how easily a small spark can ignite a storm of theories. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. As rumors grew louder across fan communities, many pointed to a subtle but unmistakable shift in Matt's demeanor. Normally confident and outspoken, he appeared more reserved, almost guarded. It was the kind of shift that doesn't come from physical exhaustion or the stress of running a farm. It was the look of someone carrying a private emotional weight. In the weeks leading up to the speculation, Matt reportedly grew increasingly cautious when talking about his future with Caryn. Gone were the carefree smiles, the playful banter, and the talk of shared plans. Instead, viewers noticed pauses, those long, heavy pauses where Matt seemed to be wrestling with words he couldn't quite say out loud. And then came the clip that fans keep returning to. Matt sitting alone on the porch of the farmhouse, staring out across the fields as though suddenly the place felt unfamiliar. It was the farm he built, the land he dedicated decades to, but in that moment he didn't look proud. He looked shaken. Some viewers described it as a man trying to solve a puzzle he didn't even know existed until recently. A puzzle involving someone he trusted. The fan theories vary wildly, but they all circle the same core idea. Matt discovered something Caryn did or hid that cut deeper than any business disagreement ever could. Maybe it was a private conversation about the farm. Maybe it was a decision made without his input. Maybe it was a plan she set in motion long before he knew about it. Not illegal, not financial, but emotional. A betrayal of trust. For Matt, who has been through divorce, family rifts, and endless public scrutiny, trust is everything. So when that trust feels shaken even slightly, the impact can be devastating. Fans point to his recent interviews where he seems careful, almost rehearsed, whenever Caryn's name comes up. It's as if he's choosing each word with caution, aware that saying too much might reveal cracks he's not ready to show the world. And that's where the chilling question comes in, the one fans believe Matt silently asked himself the moment everything changed. Who are you really? It's a question no one wants to ask about the person they love. And yet, in Matt's expression, many believe they saw the weight of that exact realization. As the discussion deepens, it's important to understand what viewers actually mean when they talk about Caryn's so-called crime. No one is suggesting illegal wrongdoing. Instead, fans are using the word symbolically, referring to actions that feel like they violated emotional boundaries, loyalty, or trust. In other words, what people are calling a crime is really a crime of the heart. Something that leaves scars you can't see but feel. Across social media forums, fan pages, and discussion threads, several theories have been circulating, none confirmed, all rooted in viewer interpretation of recent episodes and interviews. Some of the most talked about ideas include private conversations about the farm's future. Some fans believe Caryn may have had behind-the-scenes discussions with certain family members about Roloff Farms, conversations Matt wasn't fully aware of or not ready for. Influencing emotionally charged decisions. A big portion of the LPBW audience thinks Caryn's opinions may have deepened tensions between Matt and his children, especially during moments where the farm's ownership became a sensitive subject. Encouraging major decisions too early. Another theory suggests Caryn may have pushed for changes regarding properties, roles, or future plans before Matt himself was prepared to make them. Holding emotional distance. Viewers also point to moments where Caryn seemed unusually reserved or quiet during difficult family conversations, interpreting that silence as secrecy or withheld honesty. Again, these are fan theories, not verified truths, but perception alone has been powerful enough to drive the narrative. And it's that perception that has fans focusing intensely on Matt's emotional reaction. In recent interviews, viewers say Matt appears different. More guarded, more reflective, and at times subtly wounded. His posture, his tone, even the way he pauses before answering certain questions, fans interpret all of it as signals that something deeper is happening behind the scenes. To many longtime viewers, it looks like a man trying to stay strong while quietly processing something that shook his sense of trust. Whether or not any of the rumors are accurate, the emotional tension has become one of the most discussed topics among LPBW fans. As the fallout from this so-called discovery echoed across social media, the tension between Matt and Caryn became most visible in their on-camera interactions. Typically, the two share an effortless rhythm, Caryn grounding Matt during stressful moments, Matt teasing her about her love of organization, both of them imagining how the next chapter of Roloff Farms might unfold. But recently, fans noticed something different. Little pauses, a shift in tone, a space between them that wasn't there before. These weren't dramatic confrontations or explosive arguments, just subtle moments that longtime viewers picked up on immediately. A couple that once moved in sync suddenly looked like they were walking slightly out of step. Some fans believe Matt is wrestling with whether Caryn's long-term vision for the farm truly aligns with his own. Others think he's reassessing how much influence anyone, partner, family member, or otherwise, should have over decisions that will shape the legacy he's spent decades building. At times, Matt appeared emotionally worn down, almost as if he were carrying a weight heavier than the cameras could capture. And that weight wasn't just about Caryn, it was layered. The uncertainty surrounding the farm's future, the lasting tension with his children, the pressure of public scrutiny, and now the sting of what some viewers interpret as an emotional breach of trust. Together, these pressures created a perfect storm, one that may have caused Matt to quietly question whether he had misread someone he thought would always be in his corner. Still, even in the midst of speculation, cracks, and cautious behavior, Matt and Caryn continue to share moments of undeniable closeness. A reassuring touch, a shared glance, a decision made together despite the noise. But the fracture, however small, however temporary, has fans wondering whether this moment will force Matt to rethink everything he had envisioned for his future, his partner, and the farm at the center of it all. As the dust settles, one thing becomes clear. Whether the rumors surrounding Caryn's so-called emotional crime hold any truth or not, the impact on Matt is undeniable. Fans have watched him navigate family fractures, public scrutiny, and the relentless pressure of keeping Roloff Farms alive. But this situation, rooted in trust, vulnerability, and the fear of being blindsided, strikes a deeper nerve. For some viewers, this feels like a crossroads. Has Matt begun to question the foundation of their relationship? Or is this simply another storm he and Caryn will weather together, emerging stronger on the other side? Every look, every pause, every moment of tension captured on camera only fuels more speculation. And then there's the farm, always the silent witness to every Roloff high and low. If Matt's trust has truly been shaken, what does that mean for the future of Roloff Farms? Will plans change? Will loyalties shift? Or is this just another chapter in a long, complicated story that none of us can predict? In the end, only Matt and Caryn know what really happened behind the scenes. But one thing is certain, fans will be watching closely, waiting to see whether this moment becomes a temporary setback or the beginning of a turning point no one saw coming. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.